King Charles stepped into the spotlight after decades as the apparent heir, taking on the immense responsibility of leading the British monarchy in a rapidly changing world. Known for his passion for the environment and dedication to charitable causes, his vision for a modern monarchy reflects both tradition and progress. Yet his rule comes with challenges, and the most recent one is his own 6-year-old grandson confronting him. Let's check out what happened. Next in line for the longest time, Prince Charles, the son of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, spent the majority of his life as the longest-serving heir apparent in British history. Born on November 14, 1948, at Buckingham Palace, Charles became the Duke of Cornwall and Duke of Rothesay upon his mother's ascension to the throne in 1952. This placed him in a unique position, a life defined by preparation for a role he would not assume for many decades. His professional life, hobbies, and passions reveal a man deeply engaged with issues of sustainability, architecture, and the arts. Charles began stepping into his royal duties at a young age. As the first heir apparent to be educated outside the palace, he attended Gordonsdown School in Scotland, a rigorous institution that emphasized outdoor education and discipline. He later attended the University of Cambridge, earning a degree in archaeology, anthropology, and history, making him the first British heir to earn a university degree. This educational background shaped much of his professional focus in later years. After graduating, Charles embarked on military service, another critical aspect of his professional development. He trained at the Royal Air Force College Cranwell and the Royal Naval College Dartmouth. Over 5 years, he served in both the Navy and Air Force, ultimately commanding the HMS Bronington, a minesweeper. His military career provided him with leadership skills and first-hand experience in service to the nation, even though it was clear that his primary responsibility would always lie in the realm of royal duties. Charles officially began representing the Crown in the 1970s. He traveled extensively, building relationships across the Commonwealth and addressing global issues. Over time, he became known for championing causes that were sometimes seen as unconventional for the time but have since gained broader acceptance. One of his most significant professional contributions has been through the Prince's Trust, which he founded in 1976 using his severance pay from the Royal Navy. The charity aims to help young people facing challenges like unemployment and educational barriers. Over the decades, the Trust has supported over 1 million young individuals, offering mentorship, funding, and opportunities to start businesses. Beyond his work with the Prince's Trust, Charles has been a vocal advocate for environmental conservation. Long before climate change became a mainstream concern, he spoke about the importance of sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, and conservation. His professional focus on these areas extended into practical action, such as adopting organic farming practices at his Rove estate in Gloucestershire and founding organizations like the Duchy Originals food brand, which promotes organic products. Charles's professional interests also extended to architecture and urban planning. He has often voiced concerns about modern architectural practices, which he believed disrupted the harmony of traditional communities. His views, expressed in speeches and books, sparked both admiration and criticism. One of his most notable contributions in this field is Poundbury, an experimental village in Dorset, designed according to his vision of sustainable and human-centered urban development. While his traditionalist approach to architecture drew skepticism from some modern architects, it also highlighted his commitment to preserving heritage while adapting to contemporary needs. His focus was always on creating spaces that nurtured a sense of community and ecological balance. Charles has long been passionate about the arts, particularly painting and writing. As an accomplished watercolor artist, he has produced works depicting landscapes and royal estates. His paintings have been exhibited and even sold, with proceeds often going to charitable causes. His artistic endeavors reflect his appreciation for nature and his desire to connect with the world through creativity. In addition to painting, Charles has authored several books. These include works on gardening, architecture, and the environment, showcasing his deep knowledge and commitment to his passions. His writings often merge personal experience with advocacy, aiming to inspire broader societal change. While his professional life has always been closely tied to his royal duties, Charles's hobbies reveal his personal passions. Gardening has been one of his favorite pastimes, particularly at Rove, where he has cultivated a celebrated organic garden. He often speaks about the therapeutic value of gardening and its importance in fostering a connection with nature. Charles is also an avid supporter of traditional British culture. He has a particular fondness for classical music and opera, often attending performances and supporting musical education programs. Additionally, he has shown interest in traditional crafts, helping to preserve skills such as wool production and tailoring through various initiatives. Another notable interest is polo, which Charles played competitively for many years. The sport not only kept him physically active but also provided an opportunity to raise funds for charity through matches and events. While he retired from playing in 2005, his love for the sport remains throughout his life. Charles faced the unique challenge of balancing the weight of royal tradition with the evolving expectations of a modern monarchy. As the next in line to the throne, he was often scrutinized for his views and actions. However, his professional life reflects a consistent effort to address contemporary issues while respecting the legacy of the crown. One example of this balancing act is his approach to the environment. While his advocacy for sustainability might once have been considered ahead of its time, it has since become a cornerstone of global policy discussions. Similarly, his efforts in urban planning and traditional arts highlight a commitment to preserving the past while adapting to future needs. But Charles could never prepare for what happened recently, as his own grandson confronted him, but more on that later. When Charles became king after Queen Elizabeth's historic reign, he inherited not just the throne but a world significantly different from the one his mother ascended to in 1952. As King Charles III, his rule began at a time of global uncertainty, societal change, and growing awareness of critical issues such as climate change, cultural preservation, and global unity. Drawing from decades of experience as Prince of Wales, Charles transitioned into his new role with a clear vision shaped by his lifelong commitments and values. When Charles became king, his coronation marked a new chapter in the British monarchy's history. Having spent over 70 years as the heir apparent, his preparation was unparalleled. This time allowed him to shape his priorities and approach to leadership. As King Charles maintained a delicate balance between modernizing the monarchy and preserving its traditions, understanding the institution's importance to Britain's identity and its role in the Commonwealth, Charles began his reign by reaffirming the monarchy's dedication to public service. He emphasized continuity, honoring the legacy of his mother while also signaling subtle shifts to address the needs of contemporary society. This included fostering inclusivity, championing sustainability, and reinforcing the monarchy's role in charitable and diplomatic efforts. One of the defining features of Charles's rule has been his commitment to environmental sustainability. Long before climate change became a global concern, Charles had been advocating for the planet. As king, he elevated this cause to a central pillar of his reign. His efforts went beyond symbolic gestures. He actively supported policies and initiatives that promoted renewable energy, reforestation, and sustainable agriculture. Charles made use of his platform to encourage collaboration between governments, corporations, and individuals in tackling the climate crisis. He engaged with world leaders and environmental organizations to advocate for actionable change. Additionally, he worked to ensure that royal estates such as Sandringham and Balmoral served as models for sustainable living, showcasing how historic properties could be adapted to meet modern environmental standards. As the head of the Commonwealth, Charles took on the responsibility of uniting a diverse group of nations with shared history and goals. During his time as king, he placed significant emphasis on fostering relationships with member countries, understanding that the monarchy's relevance partly depends on its connection to these nations. Charles's diplomatic efforts aimed to strengthen ties within the Commonwealth, particularly with countries considering republicanism. He approached these discussions with sensitivity, emphasizing mutual respect and the voluntary nature of the association. His visits to Commonwealth nations highlighted cultural exchange and collaboration on pressing issues like education, healthcare, and climate action. Throughout his reign, Charles demonstrated a deep respect for cultural heritage and the arts. As a longtime supporter of traditional craftsmanship, he used his role as king to promote the preservation of historical landmarks and art forms. His reign saw increased funding and attention toward restoring historic sites both in the United Kingdom and abroad. Charles also continued to support the arts through royal patronage, fostering creative expression in music, literature, and visual arts. He believed in the transformative power of culture to bring communities together and instill a sense of identity and pride. His advocacy for arts education ensured that future generations would have opportunities to engage with and contribute to their cultural heritage. While Charles deeply valued tradition, he recognized the need for the monarchy to evolve. As king, he embraced a more streamlined approach to royal operations, reducing the number of working royals and focusing on transparency and accountability. This approach aimed to align the monarchy with the expectations of modern society. Charles also supported greater engagement with younger generations by addressing issues such as mental health, education, and environmental awareness. He worked to make the monarchy relevant to people of all ages. His efforts included leveraging technology and social media to communicate with the public and ensure accessibility. Charles continued his dedication to social causes, expanding on the work he had begun as Prince of Wales. The Prince's Trust, which he founded in 1976, remained a cornerstone of his contributions, providing opportunities for young people to develop skills, start businesses, and overcome barriers. As king, Charles ensured that the trust adapted to changing societal needs, addressing issues such as youth unemployment and digital literacy. He also emphasized inclusivity and diversity, acknowledging Britain's multicultural society through his engagements and speeches. Charles championed the values of unity and respect, aiming to bridge divides and promote understanding among different communities. He integrated his personal passions into his reign, using them to connect with the public and further his initiatives. His lifelong interest in sustainability influenced his vision for royal estates, which became examples of biodiversity and organic farming. Similarly, his love for architecture informed his efforts to preserve historic buildings and promote thoughtful urban planning. Charles's artistic endeavors continued to play a role in his public life. His artwork was often used to raise funds for charitable causes, while his writing served as a platform to share his perspectives on issues close to his heart. No reign is without challenges, and Charles faced his share, from navigating political debates about the monarchy's role to addressing calls for reparations and acknowledgement of colonial history. Charles approached these issues with an open mind and a willingness to engage in dialogue. His reign demonstrated a commitment to listening, learning, and adapting to the needs of the people. But recently, he came before his biggest challenge yet, his 6-year-old grandson. The Grand Royal event all started at the Together at Christmas Carol service hosted annually at Westminster Abbey. It has become a cherished tradition in the United Kingdom, organized by the royal family and led by Kate, the Princess of Wales. The event is not merely a celebration of the holiday season but a heartfelt tribute to the power of love, compassion, and community. Each year the Grand Royal event brings together people from all walks of life, shining a spotlight on the strength and resilience that emerge when individuals unite to support one another. The 2023 service, held on December 6, was an extraordinary gathering. Westminster Abbey, a place steeped in history and reverence, was filled with 1,600 attendees. Among them were volunteers, community leaders, and individuals who had gone above and beyond to bring hope and kindness to others. This year's service continued to reflect the values championed by the Princess of Wales, emphasizing the importance of empathy and unity during life's challenges. Charles, alongside other senior members of the royal family, played a significant role in this year's service. His presence highlighted the monarchy's enduring commitment to fostering connections within the nation. While the event is deeply rooted in tradition, it also serves as a platform to address contemporary issues, reminding attendees and viewers of the importance of mutual support in difficult times. The Together at Christmas service began as a way to honor and celebrate the selflessness that defines so many communities in the UK. Spearheaded by Catherine in collaboration with the Royal Foundation, the event has grown in significance each year. The service offers a moment of reflection, allowing individuals to pause and recognize the collective strength found in acts of kindness and generosity. The choice of Westminster Abbey as the venue is deeply symbolic. As a site of royal coronations, weddings, and memorials, the Abbey embodies the continuity and shared history of the British people. During the carol service, its ancient walls resonate with music and readings that speak to the timeless themes of love and hope. This year's service featured a series of poignant moments that captured the essence of the occasion. Musical performances by renowned artists provided a backdrop of joy and inspiration. Traditional carols were interwoven with contemporary pieces, creating a blend that appealed to all generations. Readings by members of the royal family and notable public figures brought personal and heartfelt reflections to the event. One of the standout aspects of the evening was the recognition of individuals who had made a difference in their communities. Stories of ordinary people performing extraordinary acts of kindness were shared, underscoring the service's central theme, the importance of looking out for one another. These narratives served as a reminder that even in the face of adversity, compassion can create profound change. While the Princess of Wales has taken the lead in organising the Together at Christmas service, the entire royal family contributes to its success. Charles, now as king, brings a sense of continuity and a personal touch to the event. His lifelong advocacy for social and environmental causes resonates deeply with the themes of the service, adding an additional layer of significance to the occasion. As a father and grandfather, Charles's presence at the carol service also underscores the importance of family and intergenerational connection. His support for the Princess of Wales's initiatives reflects his broader vision for the monarchy, one that is rooted in service and adaptability. Beyond the grandeur of the 2023 service, the annual tradition has become a cornerstone of the royal family's public engagements. Each year, the event evolves, incorporating new elements while remaining true to its mission of celebrating community spirit. The service is not just a royal event, but a national one. It unites people across the UK, whether they attend in person, watch on television, or participate in local celebrations inspired by the Abbey service. The ripple effect of the event is profound as it encourages individuals to reflect on how they can contribute to their own communities. Music has always been a central part of the service. From traditional hymns to modern interpretations, the musical selections create an atmosphere of warmth and connection. Each piece is carefully chosen to align with the themes of the evening, offering solace and inspiration to attendees. Under Charles's reign, the carol service will likely continue to evolve, reflecting his priorities while building on the foundation established by the Princess of Wales. What also evolved this year is Prince Louis, who, at 6, used the event to confront his grandfather. Prince Louis confronts King Charles. The young prince has an knack for noticing the little things others might overlook. His keen sense of observation recently turned toward his grandfather, whose tireless dedication to royal duties has not gone unnoticed by the youngest members of the family. At the age of 6, Prince Louis confronted King Charles. It was a quiet moment during the Together at Christmas carol service that Louis used to confront Charles and share a concern that melted Charles's heart and hinted at the wisdom often found in children. "I'm warning you, Grandpa, you look tired, you should work less and play with me more." Louis was very serious in his words, and Charles couldn't hide his concerned look, with his hands over his face. Even though he was touched by Louis's words, it made him aware that others might have noticed it as well. The young boy had been watching Charles closely during the gathering, his gaze picking up on the subtle signs of weariness in his grandfather's expression. To Louis, Charles isn't just the King of the United Kingdom and a figure of immense responsibility, he is a beloved grandfather who plays with him, tells stories, and listens to his endless stream of questions about everything under the sun. Charles's ascent to the throne came at a time when he was already grappling with the challenges of age and health. While he remains deeply committed to his role, the weight of his responsibilities has undoubtedly taken its toll. Days filled with meetings, state visits, and ceremonial duties leave little room for rest. Despite this, Charles has always shown a strong sense of duty, determined to meet the expectations placed upon him as a monarch. But to Louis, none of this matters as much as the simple fact that his grandfather seems tired. His words reflect the innocent worry of a child who has yet to fully grasp the complexities of royal life but understands enough to feel concerned. Louis's observation didn't come out of nowhere. He had been noticing little things, the way Charles sometimes paused to catch his breath, the way his smile occasionally seemed a bit slower to form, or the way he rubbed his temples after a long day. These are subtle signs, but to a child like Louis, they are unmistakable. Charles has long been known for his commitment to causes close to his heart, from environmental conservation to the welfare of marginalized communities. Even before becoming king, his schedule was packed with engagements and initiatives that reflected his deep sense of purpose. Now, as king, the demands on his time and energy have only intensified. Despite occasional health setbacks, Charles rarely slows down. He views his role not as a burden but as a privilege, one that he must fulfill to the best of his ability. However, even kings are human, and the signs of weariness that Louis picked up on were very real. The royal family, including Charles's children and grandchildren, is acutely aware of the toll his responsibilities take. Behind the scenes, efforts are made to ensure that Charles balances his duties with moments of rest and relaxation. William and Catherine, in particular, have been vocal about the importance of mental health and well-being, values they strive to instill in their own children. Louis has become an unexpected voice in this conversation. His simple but heartfelt remarks about his grandfather's well-being have reminded the family of the importance of not taking one another for granted. They have also underscored the value of listening to even the youngest members of the family. The bond between Charles and Louis is a heartwarming one. Charles, who has always cherished his role as a grandfather, delights in spending time with Louis and his siblings. Louis, in turn, adores his grandfather. He often chats excitedly about their time together, from the stories Charles tells to the little jokes they share. Louis's worry about his grandfather has become a poignant reminder for the family, and perhaps for everyone, about the importance of balance in life. Even as Charles continues to fulfill his royal duties with unwavering dedication, moments of rest and family connection remain essential. For Louis, the world is still a simple place, where the well-being of those he loves takes precedence over everything else. His innocent observations and heartfelt questions have shone a light on the human side of the royal family, revealing that behind the formality and tradition are relationships filled with love, care, and mutual support. As Charles navigates the challenges of his reign, his family remains his anchor. The quiet concern of a 6-year-old boy serves as a powerful reminder that even the most dedicated leaders need moments of rest and renewal. Louis's innocent words, spoken with the sincerity only a child can offer, have left an indelible mark on those who heard them. In the end, it's the small moments, like a child noticing his grandfather's tired smile, that remind us of the importance of love, family, and the simple acts of care that sustain us all. For Charles and Louis, these moments are a testament to a bond that transcends titles and responsibilities, rooted in the enduring power of family. Do you agree with the young prince? Let us know in the comments.